Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Used of a line or mark. Indistinct articulation. Judging from the thickness of his speech, he had been drinking heavily. Resistance to flow. The dimension through an object as opposed to its length or width. Used of a line or mark. The property of being comparatively great in weight. The heaviness of lead. An oppressive quality that is laborious and solemn and lacks grace or fluency. His lectures tend to heaviness and repetition. Unwelcome, burdensome difficulty. Persisting sadness. Nothing lifted the heaviness of her heart after her loss. Unusual largeness in size or extent or number. The property of being wide, having great width. The property of being wide, having great width. Anatomy. The point of connection between two bones or elements of a skeleton, especially if it allows motion. The shape or manner in which things come together and a connection is made. Expressing in coherent verbal form. The articulation of my feelings. The act of joining things in such a way that motion is possible. The aspect of pronunciation that involves bringing articulatory organs together so as to shape the sounds of speech. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. Considerable capital, wealth or income. The idea that is intended. What a communication that is about something is about. The choicest or most essential or most vital part of some idea or experience. A particular kind or species of matter with uniform properties. Shigella is one of the most toxic substances known to man. Material of a particular kind or constitution. The immune response recognizes invading substances. The real physical matter of which a person or thing consists. DNA is the substance of our genes. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. When the dough has enough consistency, it is ready to bake. A harmonious uniformity or agreement among things or parts. Logical coherence and accordance with the facts. A rambling argument that lacked any consistency. Logic. An attribute of a logical system that is so constituted that none of the propositions deducible from the axioms contradict one another. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. A harmonious uniformity or agreement among things or parts. The property of holding together and retaining its shape. Wool has more body than rayon. A resonating chamber in a musical instrument, as the body of a violin. Invest with or as with a body. Give body to. The entire physical structure of an organism, an animal, plant, or human being. He felt as if his whole body were on fire. The body excluding the head and neck and limbs. A natural object consisting of a dead animal or person. They found the body in the lake. A collection of particulars considered as a system. A body of law. A group of persons associated by some common tie or occupation and regarded as an entity. The whole body filed out of the auditorium. An individual three-dimensional object that has mass and that is distinguishable from other objects. Heavenly body. The central message of a communication. The body of the message was short. The external structure of a vehicle. The body of the car was badly rusted. The main mass of a thing. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Magnitude or extent. Indicate the dimensions on. These techniques permit us to dimension the human heart. One of 3 Cartesian coordinates that determine a position in space. Shape or form to required dimensions. The magnitude of something in a particular direction, especially length or width or height. The property of having the thickness of heavy cream. Falsely emotional in a maudlin way. The property of having the thickness of heavy cream. A property midway between a solid and a liquid. Judge tentatively or form an estimate of quantities or time. A measuring instrument for measuring and indicating a quantity such as the thickness of wire or the amount of rain, etc. Accepted or approved instance or example of a quantity or quality against which others are judged or measured or compared. Diameter of a tube or gun barrel. Adapt to a specified measurement. Gauge the instruments. Determine the capacity, volume, or contents of by measurement and calculation. Gauge the wine barrels. Measure precisely and against a standard. The wire is gauged. Mix in specific proportions. Gauge plaster. Rub to a uniform size. Gauge bricks. The distance between the rails of a railway or between the wheels of a train. The thickness of wire.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.